Joining us now, Florida Congressman Michael Waltz, member of the House Armed Services Committee, National Guard Colonel, and former Green Beret commander. Great to see you, as always, Congressman. Why weren't these jets already in Ukraine for a conflict that we have been predicting would happen for months now?
Well, the entire approach from the administration was let's not provoke Putin. Let's not escalate the situation. And their strategy basically rested on a hope that Putin wouldn't do what many of us saw that he was determined to do. So now the administration is leading the world in a strong reaction, which is fine and is certainly needed. But many of us, including President Zelensky and members of Congress, were demanding exactly that. Let's provide those arms on the front end. Even if Putin wasn't deterred by them, the Ukrainian resistance would have had them on day one, not weeks after the fact as they're struggling to survive.
Yeah, Congressman, also, it looks like the Biden administration is finally considering banning Russian oil and gas. But then at the same time as Antony Blinken says that he's actually talking to NATO allies about this, the U.S. sends a group of officials to Venezuela over the weekend. This is the highest level U.S. visit to Venezuela in years. So how do you read that situation? Does that mean that we might start buying Venezuelan gas instead of Russian? Is North Korea also selling gas that we can buy as well? I mean, where do we really go from here when we could be doing this here at home?
Carly, we cannot trade one dictator's oil, Putin's oil, for the Iranian regime's oil and for the dictatorship in Venezuela, Maduro's oil. That is a devil's bargain that this administration appears to be about to enter into. On the one hand, we will have Maduro then flush with cash if we allow him to open up his spigots with his murderous regime. But the thing I'm most worried about is the Iranian regime. The fact that we have the Russians as the intermediaries, the Russians as the go-between, between our two sides for the Iran deal is just jaw-dropping. To me, and yet that's the path that we're on. Let's unleash American energy and American oil, not make us more reliant on U.S. opponents and foes and dictatorships.
I'm not trying to be flip here, Congressman, but it looks like this administration said this is a really bad situation. How can we literally make it worse? And I know Carly's joke about what about North Korea, but I mean, I feel like that's where we're headed.
Yeah, that is exactly where we're headed. We've doubled our imports of Russian oil over the last year, and the same type of heavy crude that Russia exports is similar to what Iran exports and is similar to what Venezuela exports. Yeah. And that appears to be where the administration is headed, to replace one dictatorship's oil with the others, and we need to be replacing it with American oil. And it just blows your mind. That this is the strategy that this administration, it's unconscionable.
Without a doubt. It seems so simple. The solution seems so simple, Congressman, and yet there is absolutely no willingness to reach that goal. Got to leave right there.